can't get my partner to help me with anything. Or they get super defensive when I say, could you help me with XYZ? And it never goes well. They feel like they're being attacked. They feel like they're not appreciated. They feel like they don't do enough because I say I want something else done. I feel like, it becomes this big issue. And I have plenty of clients talk to me about it in sessions. I've got people emailing me about it right now. And I thought, look, let's just address this one right away. So there are ways where you can set your conversation up for success. Now, obviously, different people have different triggers or different things going on within them. So this needs to be customized somewhat to your partner. But in saying that, to be honest, how it is has had really, really great benefits for a lot of couples. So you can give this a go. I really want you to first, not on the fly, bring this up. Don't be like doing 100 things, putting the kids to bed, cleaning the kitchen, or running around doing whatever. Stop, sit down and talk about it. So don't do it on the fly. Do it over a cup of tea or whatever your drink of choice is. Sit down and I want you to say, thank you so much. I really appreciate when you did XYZ. It meant a lot to me because, and why it meant a lot to you. And then I want you to say, it would be so great if you'd be able to help me with X while I do Y. If you notice, it's not like it's actually telling them all of the information. So if you're going to be doing something else and there's like a million things to attend to that evening or that day, you can let them know that while they do X, you'll be doing Y. That usually helps a lot because they feel like, oh, well, I'm not the only one doing all the chores. I'm not the only one doing all the things. The appreciation sets it up in a really great way. It helps people not to be defensive. It helps them to be open. It helps them to know that you see and appreciate what they're already doing. And the big hazard that people get stuck into is when someone goes, yeah, but, oh, hang on, you missed this and you didn't do that. And it's like it negates all of the other amazing work and all of the other things that they've been doing. We don't want to do that. Now, let me be clear. Even if the thing isn't up to your standard, whatever that might be, you still need to give appreciation. Now, some people might not like me saying that, but it's up to their standard, whatever that might be. So that needs to be good enough and that needs to be appreciated still because they are doing the best they can do. And you can only ever ask of a person to do the best that they can ever do. They have no more capability yet beyond that point, right? So it's really important just to put that in there that you remember that. And I also want you to remember that the appreciation is just so important. And then when you say that you're doing something else at the same time, it gives them the context that there's a lot happening. There's a lot more that they're seeing because maybe they're not tracking all of the millions of things that are in your mind that need to happen. Let me tell you, 9 times out of 10, that is very much the case. So tell them what you'll be doing when you'll be doing that. It gives this whole way it's set up, it gives room for them to be open, to be receptive, and to ask questions. So even if they go, oh, how come? Like, or whatever, like respond. Don't get cranky about that. Actually be like, oh, because in my mind, I've got to do, and it would just take the pressure off me if you could do X, Y. I really want you to give that a go. Try it out. I also have my free communication script, which is just a game changer when it comes to anything relationships. The two biggest issues I see constantly in relationships is misunderstandings and misinterpretations or misinterpretation of the intent of the conversation. So 90% of fights and arguments will be because your partner has misunderstood you, misunderstood the intent that you have behind it. So often because our brains are negatively geared, which is, delightful. You can work on that though. Because our brains are negatively geared, you really need to think about, well, often our partners will jump to the assumption or hang on, like, do you assume the worst of me, right? And that's why you're saying that. Clearly, this is like not the case. However, that's how the brain works. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you're repeating back to your partner, checking for understanding that you actually get what you're saying. So I always say we have two English dictionaries, the same English dictionary, but we take different meanings from different words and different words are triggers for different people. So there's a lot more to it than even though you feel like you're being super, super clear, there's heaps more to communication than just that. So you can go there, go to the link below, get my free communication guide, 100% free. It is so good. It's absolute game changer and can really help you navigate those issues of like fully being defensive or not being receptive or misunderstandings or not understanding each other properly and or not solving conversations. A lot of couples will say to me, they go in a loop constantly around certain conversations. They just keep looping and looping and looping and looping. This will help you either get to a resolution or maybe just feel seen, heard, and understood, which is so valid. And sometimes it is the resolution within itself. Often we think we're looking for a certain action, sometimes it's not. But even if you are, there are questions there to help guide you around the action. So it's an absolute game changer. Go and grab it. It's below, it's free.